What is the two main things that make you attractive? What is the two things that catch the interlocutor's eyes immediately and he says how good you look?
Psychologists assure that the two most important things are the first, smile, and the second, posture. And when people often smile, there is no problem, but to keep a straight back is quite difficult. If a person has straight posture, it instantly becomes more attractive and more confident, and it's much better for the interlocutor. So how to find a straight posture, I will tell you in this video. I will tell you the easiest techniques that you can use and get results very quickly.
Watch this video until the end, it will be very interesting. And if you still not subscribed to my channel, then do it right now. And click on the bell if you don't want to miss my news. Let's go!
The first thing that needs to be done is to conduct a small test on ourselves. We need to understand that we generally have a problem with posture or maybe not. This test will instantly show us. Stand in front of the mirror and turn sideways to it. And now look at yourself. Can you draw a straight line from the ear to the shoulder and then to the knee? Yes, if you have an ideal posture. Then you will have a straight vertical line, but the truth of life is that most of us will not pass this test and most of us really have a posture far from ideal. And this is good news because if you get a straight posture, you will instantly begin to stand out about everyone else. An important explanation. Further video will be applicable to people who do not have a serious disease of the spine or musculoskeletal system because in these cases a doctor should deal with it. These recommendations will be given to those people who are generally healthy and who can choose their back if they want to. So what are the causes of curved posture? Very often we slouch because of our psychological mood. Our mental state greatly affects how straight we stand. Very often if there is a lot of stress and a lot of suppressed aspirations in our life, then we begin to slouch. We find ourselves a muscle clamp in the shoulders. I remember an interesting movie where two investigators were talking to each other and one of them said, "You know, when I saw this guy, I immediately realized that he was in prison." "How did you understand that?" another investigator asked. "Because he has pinched shoulders and a stood posture. Only in prison this could happen." It's obvious that everything can be exaggerated in films, but there is some truth in this. If we are clamped, shy, insecure, then we begin to slouch. There is even such harsh saying, slouching is a sign of a slave. Of course, I'm not saying that if we slouch it means that we are slaves. Of course, no. But that's why a straight posture is associated with strength and confidence. Try to do a simple test. Just slouch down and evaluate how you feel. Most likely you will start feeling depressed. And now take a straight back, and you will feel strong and confident and full of energy. Let's go further. A recommendation for all people who want to correct posture. Choose the right backpack. Never carry a bag on one shoulder. It's harmful to our spine and for our straight posture. We wear only those backpacks that evenly distribute weight throughout the bag. Use a set of exercises that develops the muscles of back. This is pulling up and various workouts. Of course, this exercise should be performed with the right technique. Swimming is also great because it pumps the muscles of the back. The principle here is that if we have a strong back muscles, then this tones the muscles and automatically begins to straighten our back. Because if we are twisted, then most likely our muscles are not in tone. They just hang limply and barely hold our skeleton. It's also very useful to do yoga, and there are a lot of yoga exercises that straighten our back very effectively. And of course, if you want to do yoga, you have to either work with an instructor or do a good study of the theory and the right technique to avoid hurting yourself. Pay attention to the way you sit on the chair. Under no circumstances you shouldn't sit slouched down. If you work with a laptop, it's very useful to raise the monitor to eye level. This is a very common problem we very often, for example, write in a notebook or work at a computer or work with a material slouching, leaning your body forward and looking down. I understand that this helps a great concentration on the material, but on the other hand, we accustom our body to be in this slouching state. So a great idea would be erase a book or monitor or where we look at to eye level and sit up straight, of course. The back must also be straight. Use a set of stretching exercises. We often slouch because we have poorly stretched pectoral muscles and shoulder girdle muscles, precisely because they do not have enough mobility and flexibility. It is much easier to slouch while if they were quite mobile. It would be much easier for us to stand up straight. And the most effective stretching exercise to maintain a healthy posture, we stand up straight, feel shoulder width apart. Now we bring our shoulders back and down, and hold that position while our chin is slightly down, and it's like reaching up the back of our head. Imagine having a hook attached to the back of your head and hanging in this state. If you do this exercise regularly, then very soon you will notice how your posture literally starts to transform itself. Make it a rule. Every time you lift weights, keep your back straight. See how weightlifters do it, how they do during the deadlift. Never lift weights with your back arched. Be sure to bend and then lift your suitcase or heavy bag. Also, if you can, it's good to have a massage session. Of other tips is such a thing as orthopedic chair. An orthopedic chair is almost impossible to sit curled up because it's specially made so that you sit upright. And another very interesting tip is a desk for working standing. And you make it yourself. Put a stand under your computer so that it was to eye level. Work standing is very useful for your spine and for your posture. To maintain a straight posture, to sort out your psychological background, you really need to feel confident and energetic person, and then the posture will start to correct. The best exercises that you can practice are yoga and swimming, as well as pull-ups and different workouts to upgrade the back muscles. Also, stretching is very important because elastic muscles are much easier to keep in the right position. You need to sit correctly and hold your head correctly when you look at the monitor, and remember that there will not be instant and quick changes because your posture has been formed over many years and your skeleton and muscle frame have literally grown into this state. But if you will recall your posture, if you work on it constantly, then in a few weeks you will notice significant changes. It will already be much easier to keep a straight back than not to keep it. So it's a matter of habit, and if you develop it yourself, then everything will be great.
So friends, write in the comments below how else you can strengthen your posture. And if you like this video, then press like button, send it to your friends, and see you on my other videos.